Here is Erica Enders. Erica, always good to see you. How is your weekend going? Right now you're sitting 8th.
Well, that kind of sucks.
Okay.
We were hoping to go out and do a little bit better on that run. I was over in the right lane. I let the clutch out, and it just started paddling the tires, took a hard right, and tried to reel her back in. So,
what do you think caused that?
Well, I can't tell you that.
Well, I mean, we've seen it off of a bunch of different people.
Just trying to set up the car to this really hot, greasy racetrack, and it's a challenge. I mean, I feel like we've run really well on hot racetracks, but we haven't proved that so far today.
Has Dave said anything to you? Did he try to prepare you? Because I know from all of his years of driving, you got to go up there and see all these cars moving to the right. Did he say anything?
Yeah, he did, and I haven't driven here the past couple of years, so he filled me in on everything, and there's a pretty good bump. I could feel it when I did my burnout, just through what would be low gear when I let the clutch out. So just giving me all the pointers to the racetrack, and he tells me what to expect and what not to expect. We were expecting to go out there and run a high 65, low 66, and that just wasn't the case.
Hey, Erica, it's Gary. I'm impressed because looking at a Twitter feed here, posted 3 minutes ago in round 2 of Pro Stock qualifying, EE runs a 6.691 at 207.95. You didn't tweet that already, did you?
No,
you got somebody magic working for you.
I mean, yes, I carry my cell phone in my race car as soon as I shut that bad boy down.
Well, that's what I was wondering.
No, I just have a really great PR guy who keeps everybody in the loop.
How cool is that?
Yeah.
Get one of those.
Time to have a good steak at the end of a good Friday here, Erica.
Absolutely.
Thanks for spending the time with us.
Thank you, guys.
Well, let's look at the standings. Pro Stock, now that the second of the 4 sessions is complete, and Mike Edwards was able to hold on that charge by Jason Line and remains number 1. Line is second. The rookie Vincent Nobile sits there third, followed by Krisher, Anderson, Humphrey, Morgan, and Erica Enders.
And 9 through 12, we got a bunch of Johnsons there. Alan, Kurt, and Warren. Shane Gray there in the number 11 spot. Warren in that final transfer position in 12th. He does not have his turn signal on. He went a 671 with a 4.
Oh, he's going to so hurt you. Those who are not qualified, there are 18 cars here, and you can see if you wanted to draw the line under Gordy Rivera, that on a normal field on a Saturday is where the field would come to an end. But there's still more sessions, and things will change quite a bit. And as for our coverage, from here at the Arizona Nationals in Phoenix, Firebird Raceway, 12:30 Saturday night. That's the qualifying coverage. And then the finals, 7 o'clock on Sunday on ESPN2 and ESPN2 HD. And, of course, our live finals coverage on ESPN3 comes up at 11 o'clock in the morning.
And, guys, don't forget, everybody listening out there in Twitter land, Vincent Nobile is coming to the booth right now. He's going to be joining us for a little bit of an extended interview. So if you've got questions for Vincent Nobile, fire those off, as funny cars are just around the corner.
We got something really. I mean, we got this new camera, and you know how much we love to play with toys. But look at this with the Matt Hagan run in the first session. Look at the body. Look at all the ripples, and they're rhythmic. I mean, there's something cyclic going on there, Mike.
Well, and what's amazing is as you look at the front of that die-hard body just moving around like that, and I mean, you could basically go over there and walk on it, and that thing doesn't hardly even move because, you know, the carbon composite bodies are so strong. But think about how much downforce there is, you know, at 300 miles per hour, what that air is doing. I mean, just think about it in your car. You stick your hand out the window going 40 miles per hour, wants to rip it off backwards. So just imagine at 300 miles an hour what that air is doing.
Let me just point this out right now. You saw the butterflies go close. He's out of it. He's still moving at speed. So whatever's caused there seems like it's coming from the motor and not from the passage through the air.
It could be, could be the movement of the engine, you know, the torque of the engine and the power underneath it.
We backed it up a bit. Now watch. There goes he's shutting it off. And
it could just be a harmonic from the engine doing that.
It's pretty cool, though.
Yeah,
did you know about that before?
No.
That's why we got the toys.
Oh, boy.
Nice.
That's so cool. Now, Tommy Delago, that's Matt Hagan's crew chief. And, of course, Matt will be coming out shortly. We'll see what he can do. This funny car and Top Fuel are getting ready to come up. Yeah, we are talking nitro. A little something else cool. This is earlier. This is just a great shot of a wheel standard. Look at this. Up, up. I'm going for the top.
That's pretty cool.
All right, now I'm told we need to watch the trunk, right? Yeah, look at there. Close your trunk.
Hey, you didn't get that, Paul?
He's just trying to get a little more downforce.
Golly.
Now, is that legal, Mike? I mean, because that's obviously giving him an incredible aero disadvantage.
He almost lost the groceries out of the bag.
That's cool. Yeah, there's the problem. Got your toolbox back there and wrenches all over the place. Well, with Funny Car getting ready to come up to the line, let's show you the Funny Car points. Matt Hagan and Mike Neff. Tied now.
Yeah, what a battle. The top 5 are within 3 rounds of competition. You see that do or done line just below Jack Beckman. It doesn't mean that Ron Capps and Bob Task are out of it, but they really need to do something this weekend to get back into the game.
Now, the tiebreaker is round wins, and that would go to Hagan at this moment. How about Lewis Bloom? What you got, Stat Guy?
Well, when you look at the points, I go back to the season 2008 with 3 races left to go. Check out Cruz Pedregon. He was 6 rounds back with 3 races left to go. He had to jump over 5 drivers to get to that #1 spot. And here's the stat, though. He won the last 3 races of the season. So if you can get hot and maybe even just go to finals at every race, you could win that championship.
That's why Robert Height's performance last event at Reading was so significant to him. It jumped him up to 4th position here now on that points list.
And it's why we've got to keep an eye on him, because there's still time left. No matter how close you think we're getting to the end of this season, this thing is not nearly over, especially in Funny Car.
Bob Tasker was saying earlier today he is in 7th spot, that they have got to be within 90 points leaving this racetrack. That would still be 5 rounds to make up, with 8 rounds left after this event when we go to Las Vegas and Pomona.
Now, you saw Mike Neff a moment ago. That is Annie Hood, who's married, of course, to Ashley Forrest Hood, the new dad. She is here on the grounds, and Mike Neff to the right there. I was talking. No! Not only is she here, there she is.
Jacob, come on.
Hey, Jacob. Reef, would you run down and help her with the diapers, please?
I would love to help her with the diapers. I love babies, and I did get to spend some time up in John's bus talking with Ashley about Jacob, talking with John about their future, and that's one of the questions it seems like we get a lot, be it again in the pits or on Twitter, and that's her future. And they weren't really saying anything too official yet, but it is starting to look like Ashley probably is not going to drive next year again.
Really?
She says, you know, just having the baby out here this weekend, having to go through all the things that a mother has to go through is busy enough without thinking about your car and warming the car and getting ready to go out and make a run and who's going to watch Jacob and this, that, and the other thing. So she's kind of leaning that way right now. So yeah, she's probably not going to be racing next year.
Yeah, she looks like she's having a great time as a mom. I'm hopefully going to take a nice photo of Jacob someday. You know, I like to take pictures of all the drag racing folks.
Let's talk about photo guy.
Well, you know, I got to keep it going. Alexis DeJoria, of course, being cute in her debut at Dallas. Here's a new guy, Todd Lysenko. I spoke to Todd. He's from Alberta, Canada, outside of Edmonton. He gave me a great line. He said he got hooked on drag racing in the 1970s. There was 11 top fuel cars in the Northwest. He said 7 of them were based out of Edmonton. You probably raced up at Edmonton, Mike.
Oh, yeah, I did. Back in my days with Roland Leon, went up there and raced quite a bit.
You see Del Worsham up there, because this car is owned by Chuck Worsham and Grant Downing. Downing, the last to drive it. And Del's up there making sure it goes okay. Here's Alexis DeJoria. You heard Stat Guy just a moment ago. First ever race here in a Nitro Funny Car. Well, we're going to be saying that a lot in the next number of races.
In fact,
22 or so.
It was Del that helped Alexis kind of get where she's at today.
Go.
And of
got
course,
her to a 418.
Absolutely.
Well, wasn't
early testing in probably that car.
The car that she is in, isn't that the one that Del drove last year? Or one of the Murph chassis that he drove?
I believe you're absolutely correct.
I think the other one went to, I just drew a blank. Cruz Pedregon.
They've all got it.
There you go.
Early dementia setting in here.
Alexis has 1 race win in Top Alcohol Funny Car. I'm going to make her mark in Funny Car.
Look at that.
Hey, how about that?
That's pretty cool.
Nice. Down the track.
Lysenko 434 and DeJoria a 432 moves them to 2nd and 3rd, which is impressive, but is also in its own way a prediction of where this session just may go, because look at the track temp. It's coming down. Shadows across the track. It's cooling. No direct sun. Oh, stand by, everybody.
And only 112-degree track temperature. How about that, though? Nice pass by both cars. You saw cylinders going out on Alexis just before she got to the finish line. It's because they're trying to run the car so soft and so gingerly through the middle of the racetrack. That clutch application, they take a lot of clutch away to make it through here, especially when the track's hot. They wanted to make sure they got down the racetrack, and Alexis did a good job. She kept that thing right down the middle. You see the cylinder going out right there. And usually that wants to drive the car over toward the center. It did a little bit, and you saw her just reel it right back in. That was a nice job.
You know, it's pretty good for Cinco, too. I mean, you know, you're in your first weekend, you're in your debut, and here you sit number 3 for whatever reason. It's still pretty cool. A lot of coverage coming up from here in Phoenix, Arizona, the Arizona Nationals. 12:30, well, Saturday night, really Sunday morning, will be our qualifying coverage, and then the finals, 7 o'clock, which is what they will be for the remainder of the season, all the way down to Pomona and the finals when we determine the champion. 7 o'clock on Sunday on ESPN2, live, of course, just like the Friday night qualifying, right here on ESPN3. Well, Bob Tasca, currently not in the top 12. Happy birthday, Bob. 36th birthday. He's going to start having that memory test.
Oh, I spent some time with him earlier today, as you indicated, and one of the things, he had an off weekend last weekend, and he went down to Charlotte, and he had an opportunity to compete on the Horsepower TV show, and for the first time in his life, he drove one of the original Shelby 427 AC Cobras against Factory 5 Cobra. $500,000 race car. And he says, you talk about pressure driving somebody else's car, but the thing that he was most excited about was the fact that he won. He was really fired up about that. Harold Shelby was a great friend of Bob Tasca's grandfather.
Hold on.
Way back.
It's Friday, right?
Yes.
That means it's birthday time.
That's what we said, yeah.
Yeah, hey, I'm just was warming up my vocal cords. I may have missed that.
We're in here.
We like to sing, don't we?
You have the cake? Hey, it's Todd Lucinko. You get a shot of him there. Todd,
hey,
welcome. How you feel now?
I feel great. What a great run. Just blessed with the ability to run here with the Worshams, and just a great run. Like, again, I'm just thankful to be here with the support of my sponsors, and just really happy to be here.
It's so great. You just climb out of the car, get your first big run, and somebody puts a headset on you, hands you a microphone, and says, talk.
And some good full throttle. If I'm thirsty, I'll tell you it's hot out here.
The stat guy has a question for you.
Hey, Todd, tell everybody who's watching about your career as a nostalgia funny car driver. You drive for one of the best, Steve Pfluger. What's that like?
Well, you know, Steve's a great guy. He's an intellect. I think I would like to call him the grandfather of nitro funny car racing. He's got some unique ways. I know he's been out in the big show before, and just a great fella. Again, I cherish the times I spend with him in his shop just talking about hot rods. It's a lot of fun.
Todd, by chance, are you going to be at Bakersfield for the Nostalgia event next weekend?
You know, I'd love to be there, but unfortunately with the commitment we have in Vegas the weekend after, I'm not going to be able to do that, unfortunately. I'd love to be. I mean, it's a whole bunch of fun. That's for sure. NHRA did a good job out there as well.
Hey, Todd, it's good to see you at this great moment in your career. Have a good weekend.
Great. Thank you very much.
All right, back to the line. Tasca and Deal. Well, Tasca, in reality, a 432, 282 miles an hour. That's his dad. Sure, he's got a nice present. Maybe he bought him a new Ford. What do you think?
Nice pass, moved him up in the number 3 spot. Jeff Deal, I mean, just took his time leaving, and then off the starting line. Then the car just did not go anywhere, moved over toward the center, and he stepped off the throttle, but Bob Tasca took her straight down the middle.
Let's take another look at Bob Tasca and his run.
And we talk about, you know, slowing these cars down, and we saw Matt Hagan run 399 under optimum conditions in Charlotte. Now what they do, this is the point for a fuel car where they slow the cars down. That clutch application, they take power away, they take fuel away from it to try to keep it on 8 cylinders because you're not loading the engine as hard. So at the 8th mile, they're running about 239 miles per hour versus in Charlotte, when Matt Hagan went 399, he was running 273 miles per hour at the 8th mile. And that's where you make up most of your laps time, and that's where you take away most of it and you get it down on certain racetracks.